And that is that people always say that success is not guaranteed. And I fundamentally disagree with that. I think it is guaranteed. You just cannot give up. And that sounds so stupid. It sounds so like, oh yeah, sure. No, it's not easy. That's the whole point, right? That not giving up is like the hardest part.
Hey there, I'm Cody McGuffie. I'm a husband, dad of 3, and I'm the founder of EverBee.
EverBee.
Where we serve over 1 million creators across the globe, helping them grow thriving online businesses. I believe every single human is a creator, and I believe every single creator should own a business. A business that gives them the freedom to build the life that they dream of. Built Online is where creators, entrepreneurs, and leaders get real insights, real stories, and the edge to build something that actually lasts. This is where the next generation of builders get built. Robin, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Cody. Very good, man. How are you?
Very good, man. Thank you for coming on. It's been a long time, I think, in the works to get us both scheduled. I think it's been months, actually.
It's been a few months, yeah. But I'm happy we're finally here.
Very cool, man. You have such a cool experience, cool background. You're also doing really cool, exciting things right now in AI. Also just building, like you're basically, if I recall, starting a business kind of from scratch over the past 2025. So like you're kind of in the trenches again, which is fun. So I want to talk about all that stuff. But first, man, would you mind like introducing yourself a little bit to the audience so that they understand who I'm talking to?
Sure. So my name is Robin Ebers. I have been an engineer for like over 20 years, but then I got really tired of it and I started doing all types of things as people do. And eventually in the last like 3 or 4 years, I started focusing really on social media. And I think a lot of your audience probably can relate to that. And social media is a really difficult game. It's a really difficult game that took me about 3 years to figure out somewhat. But then last year, somehow the stars aligned, as they do when you don't give up. And this whole revolution of AI coding and AI in general came to life. And whatever I did in the past, which was coding for 20 years and product and design and all of that jazz, all came together with this like little thing that allowed me to teach a completely new group of people, non-technical people, how to build things for themselves and for their businesses. And that started last year. I started a new YouTube channel. I started a new X account and everything. And now, thanks to AI largely, and we might talk about that a little bit, thanks to AI and a lot of these processes that we've built, my X account runs almost automatically. My YouTube account couldn't live without all the AI stuff that I'm using. And of course, I have also built a program where I build people up to actually do all of these things that I do too. And that's pretty much me.
Man, thank you for that. That's super inspiring too, because I think there's a lot to go in on deep there. But I think first of all, the thing that stands out is that this is a new business that you started in 2025. So last year,
Yeah.
You're saying. Do you remember what month you started?
I think it was like April, maybe April or May, something like that.
So not even a full year. By the time of this recording, that's crazy. And you've already grown a social channel to almost 40,000 subs at the time of this recording on YouTube. Obviously, your X and Instagram and all the other things too. But probably more than anything, like you feel like you have a level of confidence and freedom that you're building towards with this new online business.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to.
It's impressive because I want to break down this belief system that a lot of folks feel like, even I say it a lot too. It's like it takes 10 years to build like something really, really meaningful in business. Like just plan on that. But just because I say plan on that doesn't mean it always takes exactly 10 years to get traction and get started and get some sort of, get moving. And what you've been able to do in 1 year is impressive. And I feel like that should be inspiring for anyone here, that there's a way to do it, and there's new ways to do it now. And Robin can talk more about the AI piece of this, but it's just exciting. And I want everyone to kind of hear that it is absolutely possible to change your life in 1 year.
Oh, big time. But the one thing to remember, and that goes beautifully with what you've just said, is that it's not a year, right? It's this like classic overnight of success that took 5 years or 10 years to get to. So it's like everything, the stars aligned for me, but that was because I put in, this is not the first social media thing that I'm doing, right? Like there's this like big mindset shift that I had last year, and I credit this with a lot of what I've achieved so far. And that is that people always say that success is not guaranteed. And I fundamentally disagree with that. I think it is guaranteed. You just cannot give up. And that sounds so stupid. It sounds so like, oh yeah, sure. No, it's not easy. That's the whole point, right? That
Mm.
not giving up is like the hardest part. But I just had that conversation yesterday with my business manager, Eva. She has, we're always talking about like the YouTube channel and new videos and all the things that we have to do. And we very rarely, and I think a lot of people, I mean, you, Cody, probably are doing that too. We give ourselves very little credit for the things that go well. It's always like, oh, we need to do this and we need to do that. But then I took a second and I'm like, listen, Eva, we have a lot to do. I understand that. But the one thing that is never negotiable is that we never give up. Like we're pushing YouTube videos, we're writing newsletters, we're doing all of these things. They have become baseline. This is not easy, right?
Mm.
But if you do all of these things, you will succeed. That's it.
Mm.
You have to be almost to a delusional degree believe that you will not fail. That's it. You just
What's
cannot
an
give up.
example? What's an example in your life, in your business life, that you feel like you probably could have given up, or maybe other people would have given up, but you decided not to repeatedly? Like, what's one example? I'm sure there's dozens and probably
Yeah.
hundreds and maybe even thousands of times how it works. But for you,
Yeah.
what stands out?
I mean, YouTube is really freaking hard, Cody. It's such a hard platform to grow on, right? And there is so much, like all the people I learned, by the way, huge credit to a guy called Ed Lawrence. Like I learned everything I know about YouTube from this
Mm.
guy. And this guy has taught me so much. And like one of the things is like, I think he says something like 40 videos or something that you have to like do 40 videos, like just like throwing spaghetti with the system, of course, right? Like, but just throw spaghetti. And I've done this, man. I have made so many YouTube videos on a channel that then pivoted into something else. And it was like, vlogs and all types of jazz that had nothing to do with what I'm doing today. And if you would look at these videos now, they would be so cringe, man, so very cringe. But that's one of the things, right? That you have to continue, whatever it is. YouTube is a great example of that, where my camera presence is completely different, right? The way that I talk to people, the way that I
Yeah, I
present
mean, I've
things, the
watched
way I
your YouTube videos. Yeah,
script.
they're clean. The thumbnails are
Oh,
good. Like it looks
thanks,
high
man.
quality from my perspective. Yeah, but I'm not
Thanks,
going
man.
back to watching the first video. That's true. I'm definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't recognize it. It's like, I mean, I was a lot heavier too, but even like, it's like, okay, so today we're, talking about, no, I'm not like that anymore. I'm talking to this camera now, like it's a friend, right? And, but then to answer your questions in context to that is that I know a bunch of creators, especially in the AI sphere, but not only. It's just here, it hurts me so much more because all this AI stuff, whether it's not even like my stuff, it's not even like coding with AI or whatever, anything AI related, right now there's a huge opportunity for anyone that like just not give up. Like it's like sort of a cheat code. It's like you entered a cheat code that would accelerate years if you just do it right now, because the demand is so high and the supply of like good AI content is still so low. Everyone always says, yeah, whatever. It's so much easier to go into like AI than like general business education or something like that, where you compete with like the Hormozis of the world, right? But then they tell me like, oh yeah, I'm just like taking a break, and then they don't upload for like 2 months. Bro, 2 months in AI is an eternity. People will have forgotten you existed,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we are just crunching out videos, and that's a great example. You just have to keep going.
You do. You just have to keep going. I mean, there's so many times I could personally relate to that so much. Like, no matter what level of success you achieve to, you still have the similar roadblocks. Like, it's not like you just get to be like, oh yeah, I just never give up ever. I never think about giving up ever. I mean, yeah, you do certainly adopt like a certain identity. I would say, like, you're just like, that's just not who I am. So I just never give up. It's just simple as that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have like dark times that you're just like, what if I did give up? What if I did though? It's like you still have those thoughts. I personally have those thoughts. And it, yeah, so it's so important to recognize that fundamental though. It's just like that identity, that principle of just, you never stop. And that's okay. You don't even have to be the best at it. Literally just kind of like show up and just keep showing up, even if it's terrible. Just show up.
And that is like you said that, okay, just to give you one example, so I'm in Dubai, right? So every call anywhere in the world that is like a group call is usually at like 2 a.m. my time or something like that, because they're all optimizing for like either Asia or the US, but it's never like the Middle East, never, right? So last night I joined like a mastermind group for like coaches and whatever, and that call was at 1 a.m. So I set an alarm, and at like I think like 1:45 or something like that, I get up and I'm like, this moment made me want to like stop running a business. This is ridiculous. Why am I getting up like just before 1 a.m.? Like, what the heck? You know, like this was so hard. It was okay, you know, but it's like one of these things. Yeah.
It's contrary to why we think we want to start a business, right? We want to start a business because we want to have this like lifestyle freedom, this time freedom, the financial freedom. And then sure enough, when you're building a business, when you're really building anything hard, but building a business, you almost like sacrifice all those freedoms in order, like you're front loading all the stress, all the work on those things for the potential, for the opportunity of having the freedoms on the back end of it. And I can guarantee, I truly believe this, that it's worth it. You questioned this for a long time at first. Like, is it going to be worth it? I hope it's worth it. I hope, you know, and it really, I'll tell you right now, it is absolutely worth it. Just keep your certain. Yeah. So you would agree with that?
100%, man. It's like, I wouldn't question what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I'm working way more than I ever worked in my life, but I love every second of it. And like one thing that it's so stupid, man. There are all these like memes you see then like sometimes on like, I don't know, like Instagram Reels or something like that, where like someone makes like a joke about like, oh, you buy an online course and the first lesson is like mindset. And they're like, oh, no, not another one of these. The thing is that mindset is everything.
It is everything.
It's like, it's so ridiculous. But like you said something about that you are, and it connects nicely with this like front loading thing that like, it's not always great. It's not always like rainbows and butterflies. You have dark times, right? And I think it was Hormozy, and I so agree with that said something like, you never stop having problems. You just get new problems. And that is a never ending cycle, right? Like you solve it. Okay, next. That's it. And I think you have to really adopt this idea or this like mindset that is who you want to be. You need to want to be a problem solver, a continuous one, because there is no end to that journey, you know, unless you accident, you stop forever. But
even that, you still have problems. You're still going to have personal problems and all this stuff too. So you can't escape it. It's just impossible. I would say though too that I think bad advice, maybe advice or a thought that I heard when I was younger, and we hear it a lot, is like more money, more problems. When you get richer, it actually, like, your problems don't go away. True. But also they get worse because they get bigger. And I actually disagree with that.
Big time.
Yeah. Like you have the idea, I mean, they can get worse, of course, if you don't know what you're doing and you're not paying attention. But you typically, as you become more successful in anything, let's say financially, and let's say in business, you tend to have better problems that you're like, my wife and I, Christina, we joke and we call them champagne problems. Yeah, like that's champagne.
We use the exact same term, man. You know,
oh, you do? Funny. Okay.
I love it.
We heard it in a movie and we're just like, that's literally perfect. And we're just like, that's totally a champagne problem. Like, that's just something that like, we wish that we had this problem like 10 years ago, you know, and here we are having this problem. Like, this is not a real problem. It's just like an inconvenience a lot of times. And so I would say this too. And the reason why I'm harping on this is because when you're early stage, if you're listening to this right now and you're early stage, meaning like you don't even have an idea, or maybe you have a couple ideas, you're trying, you have not got traction or validation from the market yet. You're wondering if it's worth it. And we already said that it's worth it. And then two, you have these beliefs that we've been instilled that more money, more problems. Like, you've heard it in all the rap songs and all that, you know, it's like, it's constant. We hear this, not necessarily true, actually. You know, it's really like, it's more money, better problems. Yeah. And so I share that. That's it. I'll pause there. I want to get back to you, Robin, but I had to say that to make sure everyone hears that.
I fundamentally agree. And I have a great segue to maybe something that could be very helpful for your audience, especially if they're like selling anything. But in my story is about a digital product, right? So when I started this thing that I sell now, which is the AI Builder's Blueprint, it's basically a proven process, yada, yada, yada. I'm not here to sell. But the point is that I started selling this. That was my first ever digital product. I never sold a digital product before. So that was like maybe 10 months ago or so now.
Wow.
And I started selling this thing for $97. That was like about 8 hours of video content, put my heart into it, like crazy. $97. Wasn't sure if it would sell. At that point, I had like 12,000 YouTube subscribers or something like that. So it wasn't nothing. But I was also like, no one asked me for like a product, I just wanted to make money. So then I launched it at $97. And because this is this like this is where this like overnight success but with years of preparation idea comes in, I was smart enough to set up, because I'm an engineer, I set up like dynamic pricing so that the price would automatically go up every few sales, right? And I was so like I lacked so much confidence that I would actually sell something that I started very low at $97, and I put it online, and I had like 5 sales or so same night, and I'm like, holy wow, okay, people are buying this, right? It's like crazy. And then even though I sold it for $97, I was like, oh my god, because I pre-sold it too. That's a whole different thing. That thing didn't exist yet. Later on, it was 8 hours and all these like lessons, but I gave them like a refund policy, anything. And nevertheless, I had this huge imposter in me where I was like, oh my god, that's crazy, right? But then the reason I bring this up is that because of this like process of automatically going up in price, which some people really didn't like because they hesitated to buy, and then they would go, oh, but you can, why did you? That's a whole different story where people are like, why are you increasing the price? Because people keep buying. That's why. But then eventually the price went up. And at some point I sold it for over $1,000 and it still sold. And now I started introducing a high ticket program, which is like $5,000 for 6 months. And I'm realizing that for like, there's a huge like run up of people, of customers, that where it doesn't really matter if they pay you like $29 or $500, $600, $700, they will ask for the same things. There's really no like different there in like what they will ask for the same amount of refunds. They will ask for like the same amount of like, it's just, you get just a different person with a different like financial background. And for some people, $100 feels just as painful as $1,000, right? But why I bring this up and why more money, more problem isn't true, that now I'm dealing with like high ticket clients and they never ask me anything. Nothing, man. They pay so much in like comparison to everyone else, including the $97 people that I sold in the past. And they don't ask me nothing, man. They're like always, oh, Rob, can you like take a quick look at this? Sure. Oh, man, thank you so much. Done. More money is good. It's always good,
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we tend to, which I love this, because we tend to as consumers think that the cheaper price, or like when we sell something, especially if you're new to this, cheaper equals like more sales equals better, or you have a lot of imposter syndrome about charging more for your thing, which is a huge. I mean, we see it all the time with like someone launching a T-shirt right online, even just a simple T-shirt with a unique design. People feel like, oh, to them that T-shirt shouldn't be more than $20. But the reality is like that there's somebody that would willing to pay $30 for that, probably even $40 for that if it's personalized. And like there's different, I mean, it could be double the price for someone else. And anyway, so my point is I like how you're doing that. I think that is contrary to how a lot of people believe in pricing.
Of course.
And it makes everything easier too, the business easier also.
For me, like one thing I can add to this is that even like I don't have it figured out. I want to make that very clear to anyone who's listening. I have not figured it out. I'm very much in the learning stages, right?
Even the people that say they do, they also would probably they don't also.
Of course not. But at the same time, I am still like, so I'm still learning all of this, and I have some of this like, I understand now better. But one really important thing to understand, and that it sounds so stupid, especially when you start, but like when you start selling it, you get more experience and your competence becomes your confidence, right? Then you understand suddenly that, wow, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. Yeah. When it comes back to you,
oh my God, that was such a good point that I wanted to make. I remember.
It'll come back then if it's really, it'll come back. I actually had a question that I like, kind of a burning question I wanted to get to anyway. So you kind of sit in a couple buckets in my head, right? You're a content creator. You're also like an engineering person. You're also a coach that sells courses, training. So you do all these like people in the past, people would put you in a bucket, right? And right now, the modern day creator in 2026, we don't want to be put into a category or a box. Like we're very elusive. We like create content, we create YouTube videos, and all of a sudden we're like also engineering and programming, and then we're also like selling this training program. And by the way, we might have a SaaS too at the side, and we might also have like sell merch also on the side. But I specifically want to talk to you about building your YouTube audience from in 10 months of time. I know there's a lot of time before that, but it sounds like most of the growth happened last year. And there's a lot of people right now that are listening to this is like, oh, I know YouTube is a great channel. What have you figured out or learned about YouTube that feel like you unlocked it? Like you unlocked it for you. Was it just AI? So it was just like the content, or was it other like a system, or what was it about what you do? Like, what are some fundamental things that people just need to be doing if they're building their channel?
Sure. So this is one of these answers that no one likes to hear because there's no shortcuts in YouTube at all, because it is such a competitive game. But AI has obviously accelerated my growth. Let's not kid about that. But at the same time, I see a lot of AI creators struggle too. And the reasons are always the same. It's they got bad thumbnails, bad titles. They blame the algorithm instead of themselves. Huge one, right? They use terrible hooks. They start videos like, okay, guys, so out. You have like 3 to 7 seconds to what is called like convert the click, like or convince them that their click was for actually what they clicked on, right? So that's why you see now a lot of these like thumbnails where I don't do that yet, but I should maybe. Where even like even the thumbnail, when you click on it, the video, the first few seconds look just like the thumbnail. Like this is my YouTube setup. Like this should be ideally this should be like a thumbnail, because then they click on it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's first of all, it's exactly what I clicked on, and then you hook them right immediately. Then and like Ed and a lot of other people, they have systems for it, right? Which I'm not going to share now everything because I paid a lot of money for it and I don't want to like give his secrets away, but there are systems to running. These are not shortcuts. These are just systems that he has figured out, right? About like how to structure your intro, how to structure the points that you get across, right? And the thing is, sometimes I'm being lazy and I'm like, nah, it's fine, man. I just want to get a video out. And that's how most people feel all the time. But then this video doesn't go well. And then I make a video where I kid you not, Cody, this is like, I even like the first like 30 seconds, which is like the intro, I sometimes spend like a day on the first 30 seconds. That's it. And the rationale is very simple, right? You need a thumbnail and a title that works really, really well, because if they don't click, they don't watch. And then you need a killer intro, because if they click out of the video, your YouTube will even faster stop showing it to people.
Interesting.
Right? And then you need to keep them going. That's where retention comes in, right? And that's where how you present the points and you show them things. So instead of just sitting there like here it's different. It's a podcast. People are probably listening to it instead of actually watching it. But so it's a different story. They're doing something, you're probably in the kitchen right now doing dishes or something like that, right? But or in a car. But when you watch something, you're like, you almost, and it's the thing I hate about YouTube so much, but you almost have to trick people into learning something. Because if you make a video that is like how to do this and this and that, like how to build your first app on this particular service without whatever, and it's like not a good thumbnail, the video is going to get like 50 views. And I've been there many times. But then, just to wrap this up, if you have like a killer thumbnail and title, and what that is, it goes way beyond this podcast, but a killer thumbnail and title, what people call packaging, then you have a killer intro where you set them up for what to expect, and then you deliver each point, not too many points, not too few points, to really help them understand everything you say, make it visual. And then in the end, instead of saying, okay, guys, thank you very much, subscribe. No, you don't do that. You say you say something like, and now that you know how to do this, you still have one thing, or like, I don't know, Ed does that always. If you watch Ed videos, he says something like, but even the best blah, blah, blah will not do this and this. So unless you want to like waste the last 10 minutes, that's how he makes you feel kind of, watch this video next where I give you the next solution, And
Mm.
that's YouTube in a nutshell. There's obviously huge like granular details, but that's
I
it.
wanted to, yeah, thank you for that. That's super valuable, very, very valuable. The biggest thing I wanted to take away from that is that there is a system for this, and there's almost a formula for this. Not that it's like that easy. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. I know it's not. There's more of an art to it. I know there's a lot of art to it too, but there's definitely a system to this. It's not just slapping up good content and spray and pray type of thing. It just doesn't really work. So that's awesome. I'll get the name one more time of the people for anybody wondering who Ed was that you used. You said
Ed
Ed.
Lawrence. Like if you go to YouTube and you watch anything YouTube and business related, his videos are going to be the one you're
Okay,
watching.
beautiful. Ed Lawrence. I think it's a good time to wrap up with the rapid fire questions. You ready?
Sure, let's go.
Let's go. What's your favorite business book?
All three Hormozy books. No, wait. No. These are the most common ones. It's Dotcom Secrets by Russell Brunson.
Ooh, it's a
It's
really
like a
good book.
Bible to me. Yeah.
That one probably that one leveled me up years ago.
Yeah.
That one.
So it's still good. It's still good. I just read it last year, I think.
What's
Super
the
good.
one thing that you feel like you think about when that book? What's the one nugget you just took away from that book? I can think of one too after you.
So many, but I think in my case, because I struggled with newsletter writing for a long time and I thought I don't want to annoy people, and he is writing like an email every single day. I write like 2 per week, but I used to have like 1 every 2 weeks because I didn't want people to unsubscribe from me, So I'm going to ramp this up because I'm not their friend. I'm there to sell something and educate them, and either the people like it or they don't, It's very simple.
You know what? I that was one of my takeaways too. Like no question. Everyone's worried about the same thing. By the way, every new entrepreneur, they're always worried about overwhelming their audience and they're annoying their audience. The truth is, nobody really cares about you that much. If they don't want to be on your list, they will unsubscribe. They have an opt out. They can totally unsubscribe. But the reason why they're on the list is to hear from you. So email them and don't just always try to sell them something. Give them value, share with them value, give them value, and eventually you sell something to them. That's cool and expected. My biggest nugget from that one is similar thing, but it's the welcome series. Like he scripts out your welcome series when someone actually subscribes to your email list, and he actually takes you through a welcome series flow. I forget what he calls it, but you know what I mean? He like actually tells you exactly what to write. I remember in the delivery room, it was a hospital with my son. And after we just had him, so we were there staying there a couple nights. And I remember reading that book and literally writing down word for word what he told me to put in the welcome series. I literally put it in our funnel for another business in the past. That specific email sequence printed like $2,300 in revenue. That was the first really like email system. I'm like, whoa, that was just off an email. That was crazy. Yeah. And so anyway, that's awesome. Next question. What's one thing that you wish that you knew before starting your business?
Wow, so much. So much. I think the mindset of understanding and truly believing that you will succeed if you don't give up. It sounds so silly. It sounds so simple. It sounds so obvious. And whenever you tell it to people that haven't adopted it yet, they'll come up with a million excuses of like why it doesn't apply to them, why all these problems, why blah, blah. No, it applies to everyone, including the person listening right now. If you don't give up, you will succeed. And I think that doesn't make things easier, but at least gives you the reassurance that it is not going to be for nothing.
How do you define a creator in 2026?
That is so difficult because you call me a creator and I don't actually see myself as a creator, because YouTube and like X and whatever, they're lead platforms for me, right? Like I think a creator to me is someone who creates videos for the sake of creating videos. Someone that is, vloggers, maybe like lifestyle people, maybe even like Hormozy to some extent, because the guy is like pumping out so much like content. And maybe not anymore. He used to do a lot more personal content and now it's more business related. But for me, as a big unlock was I don't think about these platforms as making friends or subscribers or followers. I think about them in the very same way as I now do about my email list. There are people that want to learn, and just because a few people will unsubscribe or unfollow or whatever, I will not stop doing what I do, you know? So a creator is someone who does it for like the fun of creating, I feel.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Who should be a business owner?
Everyone.
Tell me more.
Everyone. I mean, literally everyone, because I grew up in a 9 to 5. I grew up extremely poor, right? And then I had some early jobs and I hated them so very much. I know very few people who are, that's going to be a bit controversial, but I know very few people who love their job, right? There are some because there are great bosses in this world, right? But there are not a lot of them. Most bosses kind of suck. So there's all these like reasons that people tell themselves of why, you know, they have children and they need job security. There is no job security with a 9 to 5. There's maybe even less, especially in these times. At least when you have your own business, you are in control. And again, like a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, but no, but there are no excuses. You can be a business owner. You can build something. You just have to figure out what that is. And yeah, newsflash, that's not going to be easy, but you can do it if you don't give up. That's it.
Golden. Completely agree with that. Robin, thank you so much, man, for all this. Where can people find you, learn more about you? Also, like sign up for, your newsletter and also understand what you do as far as like teaching people how to build apps with AI and all these other things that we don't really get into. Where can people follow you and learn from you?
Sure. I mean, especially if you're a non-technical business owner, a founder, maybe like someone that, you know, has done a little bit of money already, not a complete beginner, but also not, you know, like a big enterprise that has like lots of money for developers. So if you want to build something, you feel always like behind because, you know, you're dealing with like, I don't know, Upwork and Fiverr and whatever these platforms are. And none of the developers does actually what you do because it's really hard to work with them. Trust me, I've been one of them. Then you can ideally go to YouTube, just enter Robin Ebers. That's my biggest surface. It's a bunch of videos there that educate people from complete beginner to full processes. And then if you want to take the next step, you can take a look at my inner circle. There will be links under every video. You can't miss them. But yeah, YouTube, Robin Ebers. That's about it.
Robin, thank you, man, for that. Go follow Rob, learn more from him. Rob, thank you again. Happy to have you on again, man. That'd be fun to like get a catch up maybe in the next 6 months or something like that.
My pleasure, Cody. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
man.
See you soon.
See ya.